Yo, welcome to Expanding Capacity. My name is Michael Risk. Today we're going to be exploring the exercise, the fundamental movement of lunging. And we're going to focus specifically on what the core's role is in that. A lot of people have limitations through the core. And by the way, I'm using the term core to refer largely to the thoracic spine or the mid-back where the rib cage is. And that's one of the body's natural torque converters. So when it gets congested, it can't contribute to movement effectiveness and efficiency. So what we're going to do here is just start with a few deep breaths just to center ourselves. We'll establish a couple litmus tests. We're going to go into perform a lunge matrix to see our starting point. We'll do some core work. We'll come back and see how that affected or improved the lunge. All right, let's get to it. Eyes closed. Actually, you don't have to close your eyes. In through the nose. Hello to the one person joining me. I appreciate you being here. Whoever you are, I'm investing in the future, baby. All right, let's get to it. You know, I heard it's a good day to have a good day today. I could be wrong, but that's what I heard. All right, let's get to it. Let's start with our posture scan. Feet about hip width apart, arms nice and relaxed. Are the shoulders rounded, neutral, or chest out? I'm a little bit on the rounded side. So that's my starting point. Let's go through our lunge matrix to assess. Again, this is an extension of the litmus test. We want to assess the quality of the movement. We're going to do something, come back and recheck. So I want you to hold on to the wall with, say, your right hand while your left leg goes through the lunge. Actually, let's do it left hand holding onto the wall while the left leg lunges. Okay, so we're just going to go for 5 repetitions here. 2, 3, you want to just assess the quality of the contact and then the ability to return or spring back to the start position. All right, and then we'll switch that over. Let's do the other side. And we'll go right side. I'll tell you what, just from 2 days ago, this right foot was hitting the ground very hard. It's really softened up quite a bit just by working through the feet and the hips, which is to be expected. All right, now let's just stay here, but let's alternate sides. Okay, so we'll go left foot followed by right foot. And then if you are holding, you're welcome to close your eyes and feel the difference. How does the right contact the ground versus the left? My left hits very softly. It's a smooth sequential movement. The right's a little harsher compared to. All right, now let's change the plane of motion or the direction. So we'll go both hands on the wall. Left leg is going to lunge to the left. When you step to the side, the toes are staying straight, essentially on both feet. You allow your hips to slide toward the lunging leg. And again, assessing the quality of that movement. And then let's switch that over. This one, my limitation is a bit more noticeable. And it's worth pointing out that we have to understand which plane of motion our limitations are in. All right, alternate sides. Because you might be doing a stretch or something constructive for yourself, but you're actually impacting the wrong plane of motion. And then the fundamental issue never gets addressed, and things just get progressively worse over time. A couple more here. Loosening up. Okay. Now we're going to go to rotational. Okay, so as the left leg rotates back to the left, you're going to stay holding with your right hand. So left to the left. Let's go for 5. Do allow the weight to transition to the lunging foot. So I'm allowing my body kind of to fall or collapse in that direction. 2, let's go one more here. Let's go the other way. Left hand holding, right leg lunging. All right, now we're going to go alternating sides. And same thing here. I'm definitely noticing more improvement in this direction from just a couple days ago. It's definitely not like the other side, but Rome wasn't built in a day, right? One more here per side. Okay, so one thing to understand so that this movement routine has some context for you is that when we lunge, so let's just say if I lunge my right foot forward, okay, my pelvis is going to rotate to the left. Now, providing my body doesn't move in that same direction, which it's likely not going to, if I'm lunging, I'm probably going to be looking straight ahead. So my hips go one way, but my trunk actually goes the other way, relatively speaking. So we're just going to accentuate what the trunk does during lunging, okay? So what I'm going to have you do is you want to hold on to something with two hands, right? Maybe at about a little bit lower than shoulder height, right? About there. And then you obviously just do what's good for you. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 10 lunges with the left leg while the left hand's holding, okay? So the knee is trying to go one way and the shoulders are going the other. All right, and so there's this counter rotation. I'm not expecting that you're going to get deep into the lunge. All I want you to do is just try to find your edge of what you can and can't do without being forceful, and just work just to that point. Members are often floored by the fact that they can go through a very gentle routine and have such a phenomenal result. Oh, 10th, on the 10th one, I'm sorry, hold it, ready? Pulse, 9, okay. Let your knee drive a little across the body, and you'll feel the pelvis rotate the one way to the right and the shoulders back to the left. All right, so if you want a measure of core strength, this is it. This is one of them. There's 6 directions that we go, so this is one measure of core strength. All right, we'll call that about 10. Let's switch it over to the other side. So hands holding, and my palms, by the way, are holding onto my whiteboard here. You might be in a doorway or something like that. Anything you can grip onto. All right, so now you're going to lunge with the right leg forward. And the first thing I noticed, which is not a surprise, you could even hear the strain in my voice, right? You know that my right leg, my right foot's not been contacting the ground real well. Well, this is definitely, well, I can't say definitely, but providing I go through this routine and the movement gets better, this is definitely part of that limitation. 2 more. Okay, let's hold. Ready? Now we're going to drive that lead knee a little across the body. Pulse, 9, 8. Don't force it. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Now what we want to do is we're going to go into another plane of motion. This one's a little trickier from a holding perspective. Now, I'm tall enough where what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to lunge with my left leg. Okay, sorry, I'm dancing here. I'm going to lunge forward with my left leg, and my pelvis is going to drop on the right side. So I want to accentuate that motion that's occurring through the core. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be able to grab up here onto my whiteboard. What you're probably going to do is just put your hand on the wall, and it doesn't need to be exactly overhead. It can be a little bit out in front, and it's almost like the hand's kind of gripping a little bit. So there's some firm pressure into that area. As long as you get like a little bit of resistance or drag, you're going to create the ideal chain reaction, okay? So I'll just go flat palm with you. But make no mistake, if you can hold on to something, it's a radical difference between flat palm and holding. So you're going to have create a little bit of muscular effort when you go into that lunge to really keep the hand from sliding down the wall with you. It's okay if it comes down a little bit. Okay, let's hold this next one. Ready? We're going to pulse. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 1. All right. Other way. So we're going to go left hand overhead on the wall, wherever you're holding on to. All right. And right leg lunge. So just nice and easy into the move. You know, when I was rotated, I was so restricted, but in this plane of motion, my body's definitely moving freer than the other side. 9 and hold. Ready? Pulse. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Last one here. Okay, cool. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to finish in the sagittal plane. And the best way to do, well, I won't say the best way to do this, probably the easiest way to do it, where this will probably have the broadest appeal because most people would be able to actually do it, is we're going to place both hands up. All right, you're going to be leaning forward a little bit, okay? So I'm not super close to the wall here because I'm going to need some room to lunge forward. So my hands are up. Again, same thing. I want a little bit of pressure there so that there's some drag as I come down, or resistance. Now from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a left leg lunge. So just like that. Not probably the most ideal, but again, like, you know, we have a short time frame here. I'm trying to keep these movement routines to about 15, 20 minutes max. And, you know, I need to think about the lowest common denominator because that's the person that probably really especially needs the movement. So let's go 8, 9. Okay, let's hold. Okay, ready? Let's pulse. 9, 8, 7, 6. Again, if you can hold on to something, more power to you. A couple more. 2, 1. And what's happening here, because you might say, I'm not really feeling anything. It's okay. When the hands are up, right, and you lunge forward, the pelvis is dropping down, but the hands are holding the ribs up. So we're creating separation. Core strength, core length creates core strength, okay? Core length creates core strength, and we need to know how to lengthen in all 6 directions, all 3 planes of motion. Otherwise, we never really develop an actually strong functional core where it actually improves our quality of life day to day. Okay, so let's go other side. So don't worry too much if you're not feeling that much. Let's go right leg lunge. Again, with the hands overhead, it's keeping the ribs lifted. And then as you lunge forward and you bear weight onto the lead foot, the pelvis falls forward and drops down. So there's a lengthening that's occurring. And you might actually sense that your abdomen gets stimulated when you drop into the lunge. 2, let's go one more here. Hold, okay, ready? Let's pulse. 9, 8, 7. Let's go 3, 2, and 1. All right, here we go. Now what we want to do is let's recheck our litmus test. Let's start with our lunge. I'm going to go right hand holding. Just going to stay here, left leg lunging. I mean, this just feels like a completely different leg and lunge. You know, my leg feels twice as strong and stable. Let's go to the other side. And same thing here. I mean, that core rotation that I had that was really limited to the right, that's more, I need to spend some more time there because this just feels like a completely new leg. A couple more here. Oh, I went probably way too many. Let's alternate for 3 per side. I think I was just enjoying that new motion so much. It's the small things. 2, 1. Okay, right now let's go side to side. You know, one of the cool things is we're only doing all these corrective movements. I mean, we're doing a movement, but we're exploring it in all 3 planes, and we're getting all major joint complexes addressed within a week. Let's go the other way. I think I'm just too much in my body. I'm feeling fantastic. This lunge is like, it just, again, it feels like a new leg. And my body has just greater range of motion naturally. I'm not trying to go out further. It's just my body can go out further. And so let's alternate sides. And one of the cool things is, you know, when I cue a movement, there's this principle of self-selection, that the body's going to self-select what it knows it can do confidently. So I very rarely will cue like how far out to step or how low to drop down, because what your body self-selects tells a story. All right, so let's go right hand holding, left leg lunging. So when I allow somebody to self-select, like we do in our posture scan, I just have somebody stand so I could take a posture picture, and then I take them through my capacity map assessment, 5 the other way, where we assess their capacity at every major joint in the body. which are the feet, the hips, the spine, the shoulders, and the hands. And then after we do that, just from the assessment, let's alternate sides, which also means you're going to alternate hands. So you're releasing the hand on the lunging leg side. I'm not actually reaching here. I'm just showing you that I'm letting it just kind of go with me. But it's okay to let it drop because it's moving in a complementary direction. So just from the assessment, you know, people's posture, I have countless pictures of people who get in one posture when they start and they're in a completely different posture. It's self-selecting. It's the body going where it goes based on the resources that it has available to it. And the good thing about these routines, it's all about resource building, expanding capacity. So let's go. I already know my chest is out. I can feel it. Eyes closed. So I did a 180 today from rounded shoulders to chest out. Happy with that. Let's go 3 breaths, and 1 in honor of our mind, our body, and our spirit. Mind. Body. Spirit. All right. Well, I want to thank you for joining me. I do want to point out, as I always do, that when you notice imbalances left versus right, those capacity differences, right? Because you have a lower capacity side and then there's the higher capacity side. The lower capacity side is not able to contribute. It's not that it doesn't want to, it just can't move based on the capacity, based on the stability that it detects. And that's why we lose joint range of motion, is because a joint becomes unstable. And when it becomes unstable, that's why we lack range of motion. So it's not about stretching to get a motion back. It's about stabilizing the joint, making it capable of recovering the motion. It'll happen. You just need to know how to position the body and tee it up. So when I was mentioning the capacity differences, once I get that low capacity joint, which is the side that you'll experience limited range of motion, once I restore that capacity, then it just takes a boatload of stress off the other side, right? So the area of the body that's typically in pain is not usually where the issue is coming from. So somebody's knee might be killing them, but it's their foot that's the problem. And you can do everything in the world to treat the knee, but you're just never going to get better. And that's not a pessimistic view. That's just a principled response. So, all right. This was great. I feel like I'm starting to ramble a little bit. I get too passionate about these ideas. I'm up to 3 followers now. Thank you, whoever's here. I think I know who's here actually, because I'm actually about to go into my community now, Expanding Capacity, school.com/expanding capacity. And I'm going to go have a conversation with these guys, and we're going to do some more movement. We're going to troubleshoot some things. I'll probably go spend a little more time on my right side with that lunge, with the rotational one. And so that's it. I hope you make it a wonderful day. I'll see you back tomorrow. We're going to move into the neck. It's a good one. Don't miss it. See you then. Bye.